So now that we got all of that out of the way in terms of like who qualifies for a DPA program, let's actually get into the nitty gritty of it, because what I find as a lender is that like a lot of times borrowers will tell me, well, my agent told me I can get a DPA. Which is true, I mean, I'm not trying to dissuade anyone from getting, if they need down payment assistance, they need down payment assistance. However, there are cons to down payment assistance that a lot of borrowers do not know. They do not know that first and foremost, with down payment assistance, it can raise your rate. So if par was 6%, with that down payment assistance program, all of a sudden you're looking at a 7% rate. That can make or break a lot of people when it comes to how much home they can afford, because now that goes into your debt to income ratio, because as rates go up, your payment goes up, and therefore their debt to income ratio goes up, and the amount of home that they can afford goes down. All right, so next is the fact that a lot of times it'll put a second lien on the home because it'll become a second mortgage, right? So what'll happen is that when they go to refinance or when they go to sell the home, they'll have to pay that down payment assistance back in its totality. And while there are some that are forgivable, a lot of them are liens. They're second liens. And I just came across one in which the DPA had a prepayment penalty of about 5 years, which means that the second lien would not subordinate for 5 years. So when the person tried to refinance, they couldn't, because the second lien wouldn't go back into the second position. So they couldn't even refinance in order to clear the DPA, in order to get their rate lower. So you come across those issues as well. But yeah, like also a lot of times it deals with a lot more paperwork, which means that our time to close, we try to close fast. We try to close in less than, well, I try to close in less than 21 days, right? But when you deal with DPAs and all of the paperwork that goes into that, it can extend timelines. And you know that time kills deals. I can't preach that enough. Time kills deals. So the last thing you want is to extend a deal. And then there's less flexibility with the DPA. There are a lot of times there are a lot more restrictions. Like I already said, there's income limits. There the price of the home. There's a cap on the price of the home. There's even geographic limits with the DPA, because not all lenders will allow DPA in certain areas.